Welcome back, Mat081, exam number 4 preparation. We're going to start with question number 9 and finish the last 7 problems all the way to number 15. So there was a part 1. Hopefully you've reviewed that, taken a look at it, and now we'll continue on with question number 9. So the question is, find the area of the trapezoid. So we need to get a formula for the trapezoid. If you've taken a look before, what you see is that it's going to be the base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2 times the height. That's going to be the basic formula. But how do I know that? Well, because I've looked it up enough times. So let's go take a look at that formula. So we go to the formulas. We're looking for area formulas. And the one we're going to look at is trapezoids, right here. So trapezoids is base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2 times its height. Okay, so we'll go back to our question. Now, how do I know that which one to use as a base? Why don't I use these slanted ones as the base? Well, it's because I look for where am I given the height. I'm given the height from here to here. You could flip the parallelogram around, or the trapezoid around if you wanted to, but since the height goes horizontally, I need to use the two bases, and those two bases are parallel. They always need to be parallel. Okay, so our formula, base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2. And again, if you're going to put in the calculator, you want to do that part first, and then we multiply by the height. Choose whichever one you want for the base one. It doesn't really matter because addition is commutative. So 10 meters plus 4 meters. Now these need to be like terms, and they are. They're both in meters. And then we're going to divide that by 2, and then we're going to multiply by 7 meters. So we end up with 10 plus 4 is 14 divided by 2. That's going to be meters times 7 meters. 14 divided by 2 is 7. So we get 7 meters times 7 meters. 7 times 7 is 49. Meters times meters is meters squared. So there it is right there. Answer B, 49 meters squared. Okay, so follow the formulas and you'll get your area of a trapezoid. Save that picture. Move on to question 10. There it is. So now we look for a question. Oh, it looks like we're dealing with pizza. Nice, large pizza. How many more, this is an important word, more square inches was the large pizza? So let's look at our question. Henry had the option of buying a medium pizza that was 8 inches, so that's important there. It's in diameter as well, not radius, diameter. Or a large pizza that was 16 inches in diameter. Okay, so for this question, we need to find the area, how many more inches, how many more square inches. When we're talking square inches, we know we're talking area. So we've got a large pizza. Actually, let me forget I got these tools that can draw circles. So we're going to draw a circle. It calls it an ellipse, but let's make the larger one there we go. So we'll make a large pizza. Here we go. Here's our large pizza. And we have a smaller pizza. That we're going to kind of compare. So what we've got going is that we've got the diameter of the smaller pizza here is 8 inches. The diameter of the larger pizza is 16 inches. And we'll look up that formula for area of a circle, because that's what we're looking for. So under the formulas, areas, we see that the area of a circle is given by the radius, pi times the radius squared. Let's go ahead and write that down. It's going to be pi, so area equals pi times the radius squared. And let's switch back to our question. So pi times the radius squared. So for the first pizza, 16 inches, we need its radius, which is going to be half. So the radius for the big pizza is equal to 8. We need the 8 inches. We need the radius for the smaller pizza, which again is going to be half of the diameter, so that's going to be a radius equal to 4 inches. So we'll go for area of the big, large. I guess we could just call it large instead, but I just like big. So it's going to be pi, which is 3.14, times its radius squared, 8 inches squared. So this is going to give us 64 inches squared times 3.14. So we do that, and to get the accuracy, it's probably good to bring out the calculator for this one. 3.14 times 64, 296. Switch back over here. So that's 200.96 inches squared. Okay. Then we're going to do the smaller pizza. So we'll do the area of the medium is going to be 3.14 times 4 inches squared. We do the math. 4 squared is going to give us 16 inches squared times 3.14. So come back on over to the calculator, clear it out. 3.14 times 16, 50.24. So we end up with 50.24 inches squared. And so what we want to do is we want to take the large pizza, the area of the large pizza, minus the area of the smaller pizza, and that's how we will get the difference, how much more it was. So let's put that over there. So what we're going to do is 200.96 inches squared, subtract off 50.24 inches squared, and when we do the subtraction, 4 from 6 is 2, 2 from 9 is 7, 0, and then 5 from 20 is going to give us 1,550. Oh shoot, I don't see that answer there. Guess the test maker made a problem. So, but this is the correct amount. I guess it's closest to 200, but what I should have done here, I forgot to change this number here. So 0.72. We'll make that little adjustment and say that that's the correct answer. There was no correct answer. On the test that has been dealt with, there is a correct answer. But this is how you do it. Area of the large, subtract the area of the medium, and you'll get the additional size. You're getting how much more, which is this area in here, the area that's left, because you subtracted off the medium. Okay? So there we are. Save that page, and let's move to number 11. I'll do just make the picture a little bit smaller. Move me back down here. There we go. Okay. So, question is, how much water will it hold? And we're talking about a pool filled to the top. We see this picture here, it's three-dimensional. So hopefully we're finding a volume. Renee bought an above ground pool for her backyard. So it's 4 feet tall, it's got a 3.5 foot radius. So that makes it 7 feet across. Not a huge pool, but hey, it works. For kids, that's probably good. You don't want it too much more than 4 feet. But what kind of a shape is this? This is called a cylinder. So what we need to know is how to find the volume of a cylinder. So let's go look that up. We've got area formulas. Here's our volume formulas. Let's see. Here it is at the bottom. A cylinder has a radius of r, circular base. That's what we have. So it's pi times r squared. That's the area of the base times the height of the cylinder. Okay, so we're going to write that down up here, sort of in abbreviated form. It's going to be pi, which we're going to be using as 3.14 times r squared times its height. We'll just put the h. So that's the formula we're going to follow. Let's come back to our question, which I think I've kind of just written over the top. Should have done a little bit lower. So let's see if we can take this out. So then we're going to remember that we're going to take what we're going to use. We're looking for c, so this formula we're going to use a squared plus b squared and take the square root. So we could call this first part over here, call this a, we could call this b, and this becomes c. Okay, so we're going to take a, which is 5 feet squared. We're going to square it. We're going to take the 8, we're going to square that, and then we will take the square root of the result. That gives us our missing piece. 5 squared is 25. 8 squared is 8 times 8. That's 64. Take that square root. Let's add them together. 5 plus 4 is 9. 2 plus 6 is 8. So we need the square root of 89 for our answer. And then for that, this is one where you get to use the advanced features of your calculator, I think. Let's see if the basic one has it. There is no square root here. So if you're using your phone, you would turn it sideways. If you turn it sideways, you'll get a calculator that looks like this, something closer to this, what you'll see is there is this square root, and there's various other sort of radicals, which you'll learn about in other classes, but this is the one we're going to want to use. On this calculator, now some calculators you have to hit the square root button first and then enter your number, but on this one you have to enter the number first and then hit the square root button. So it's a little tricky. You'll want to practice in advance using whichever calculator you have. Let's come back. 9.43, 9.43. So there's our answer right there. The missing side is 9.43. And since we squared and then took the square root, that undoes each other. We're still talking just feet. Okay, and that makes about sense. If this is 8 feet, that's 5 feet. That's a relative amount. 6.2 feet is too short. It's shorter than 8 feet. It couldn't have been the answer. While 8.5 could be the answer, it's the 9.43 is the correct one, doing it this way. So that's the Pythagorean theorem. We found volume, we found area, we found perimeters and circumferences. So we have done everything that we need to do for geometry. Keep looking at this, review it, and you'll be well prepared for our test that's coming up. If you have any questions, please do email me, contact me, and I'm more than happy to help.